everybody, it's Teresa. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to make some sort of necklace today. I don't really know what it's going to be. I've got an assortment of pink and clear beads here that I had in my stash. I've got a link, some jump rings, one of these little pink rondelle beads that I'm going to dangle off the end of the extender chain, and I've got a little piece of chain in there for an extender and a head pin to do that with. I've got some chain. I don't know that I'm going to need it. I might end up making this so long I don't even need chain. I'm not sure. I've got some pieces of Glitter Line 22 gauge German style wire here, and this is what I use here. I've got some eye pins, and I've got my chain nose pliers and my crimping pliers. I'm not going to be doing any crimping today, but I use these to tuck in the ends of the burr that's left when I cut off the wire. These are beaded on. I've got both pairs of my bent chain nose pliers. These are from BB Craft, and these are Xuron, and these are the really 90-degree sharp 90-degree angle ones, but Xuron has a pair more like this that are not such a sharp 90-degree angle. I put as many as I can find. I'll put links to everything I'm using in the description box below, and I'll put a link to those other ones in there too. I've got my tweezer pliers and my round nose pliers. Tweezer pliers are Xuron, and the round nose pliers I got from BB Craft many years ago. I've got my cutters. These are Xuron. I've got my little New Orleans shot glass to put my wires in when I cut them off, and I think I said on the last video, he's getting full. I've got to empty him. I think that's everything. Hold on, let me get some of this stuff out of the way and I'll be back. Okay, I've got my beads here, and I don't know where I got most of these. They were just in my stash. I know that this one is a Swarovski because I got it in a $1 bead box when I was subscribed to that many years ago. It's like a twist bead. And then these little pink rondelles, I probably got those from Bead Box Bargains. And these larger clear beads, I had to have got them either in a $1 bead box subscription or possibly a bead crate subscription. I'm not sure. And what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to put this bead up here in this corner and this link up here in this corner, and then I'm going to do a beaded chain with the rest of these between them. I'm going to do wire wrap loops on the larger clear beads, and I've already got a few done because I started to do this and film it, and I cut my finger. I didn't want y'all to see me bleeding on camera, so I started over, but I've got a few of these already wrapped. And then these little pink beads, and I've got one clear one in here because I wanted to put a clear one next to that one. But I'm going to just do simple loops on these, and then I'm going to just individually wire wrap all these and do the simple loops on all these and then connect them together because I don't know for sure yet how I want to lay them out. So I'm going to take a piece of my German style wire, and I'm going to go down about 1.5 inches, and I'm going to bend my wire over the top of the tool at a 90-degree angle. And I'm going to take my round nose pliers and put them in the crook of the bend, and I'm going to bend the wire back until it hits the tool. Round nose pliers are facing me. I'm going to rotate the pliers until they're facing the table. Take the shorter piece of wire and bend it up here and under till it hits the bottom of the tool. And I'm going to cock it back a little until the loop is centered over the wire, like that. Now I'm going to take my bent chain nose pliers and hold my loop, and I'm going to hold on really tight so my loop doesn't get out of shape. And now I'm going to wrap, and I usually do this first part with my hands. I'm going to wrap around about 3 times. And now I'm going to cut off my extra wire. Now I'm going to take one of my larger clear beads, Put it on there, and I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to go to the very tip of the pliers because I don't want a very long neck. Because the longer your neck is, the more wraps you have to make, and I want to have the same amount of wraps, about the same amount of wraps as I do down here. And I found if I go to the very tip of the pliers, that gives me about the same distance on either side. So I'm going to bend the wire over the top of the pliers till it at a 90-degree angle. Put the round nose pliers in the crook of the bend, round nose pliers facing me. I'm going to bend the wire back until it hits the bead. Rotate the pliers till they're facing the table. I'm going to bring this wire back up and under here until it hits the bottom of the tool. Cock the wire back a little bit until it's centered over the loop is centered over the bead. I'm going to take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop. I'll take my other pair of bent chain nose pliers, go to the tip of my wire and start wrapping. And it's important to get that first wrap good and tight. And then just keep wrapping till there's no more room to wrap. And I'm going to take my cutters and I'm going to go in here and cut my extra wire. And then I'm going to take my crimping pliers. I'm going to go into the top part where it's got the little circle on each side. And I'm going to squish in my burrs that's left when I cut off the wire. And now I'm going to just do that again. I'm going to take a piece of wire, go down about 1.5 inches, bend the wire over the top of the tool at a 90-degree angle, put the round nose pliers in the crook of the bend, round nose pliers facing me, bend the wire back until it hits the tool, rotate the pliers till they're facing the table, take the shorter piece of wire, push it up and under here until it hits the bottom of the tool, cock it back until the loop is centered over the wire. Take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop. Wrap it around about 3 times. Take my cutters and cut the extra wire. Put my bead on. Take my pliers and go to the tip of the pliers. Bend the wire over the pliers at a 90-degree angle. Put the round nose pliers in the crook of the bend, round nose pliers facing me. Bend the wire back until it hits the tool. Rotate the pliers till they're facing the table. Hold on really tight. Take this part and push it up and under here till it hits the bottom of the tool. Cock it back until the loop is centered over the bead. Take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop. My other pair of bent chain nose pliers. Start wrapping. And just wrap until there's no more room to wrap. I'll take my cutters and cut off the extra wire. Take my crimping pliers, squish in my little burrs. And this loop is not as round as I want it to be. So I'm going to go in here with my round nose pliers and just do this. And usually that will round it out a little bit better. Now I'm going to take one of my eye pins, take one of my little pink rondelles, and then I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go a little bit above the bead because I don't want to crack my bead. Bend it at a 90-degree angle. I'm going to cut off and leave about 1/4 of an inch of wire, or 1/4 of an inch of pin. Cut it off. I'll take my round nose pliers. I'm going to go to the very end of the pin here and make sure there's no wire sticking out there. And I'm going to roll back a loop. Make sure to get it closed up really well. And if your loops are not straight with each other, which mine almost are always not straight with each other, just take both pairs of your pliers and just twist it like that to get it to be straight. And sometimes the loop that comes on the eye pin is not entirely closed well, and that does not appear to be closed well. So I'm just going to open that and close it back to make sure it's closed well. So I'm going to do that with all the rest of my beads. I'm going to do wrap loops on the bigger clear ones and simple loops on the smaller pink ones. And then I'll be back and figure out how I want to put it together. Okay, I've got all my links made except for this one. I decided I'm just going to wire wrap him directly to this one because I know that's where I want him to go. So I'm going to take a piece of wire here, and I'm going to go down about 1.5 inches and bend the wire over the top of the tool. I'm going to put my round nose pliers in the crook of the bend, round nose pliers facing me. Bend the wire back till it hits the tool. Rotate the pliers till they're facing the table. Bring the shorter piece up and under there till it hits the bottom of the tool. Cock it back until the loop is centered over the wire. And now I'm going to open this loop just a little bit and put this guy on here. Then close my loop. And then take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop and wrap this around about 3 times. And then cut off. And put my little bead on here. And go to the tip of my pliers, bend over at a 90-degree angle, put my round nose pliers in the crook of the bend, round nose pliers facing me, rotate the wire, or bend the wire back till it hits the bead, rotate the pliers till they're facing the table, hold on really tight, pull this part up and under here until it hits the bottom of the tool, cock it back until the loop is centered over the bead, and take my bent chain nose pliers, hold on to the loop really well, take my other pair of bent chain nose pliers, start my wrap. See, you gotta hold on tight or it'll slip like that. I wouldn't hold it on tight enough. And then just keep wrapping till there's no more room to wrap. And cut off. Take my crimping pliers and squish my little ends in, my little burrs in that are left. So I got that much done. Now I gotta figure out how I want to lay these out. So I know I want that up in the corner, and I'm gonna separate the clear beads out with the pink beads. I want the larger beads toward the center. It's got a piece of wire on it. Need to cut that off. It's a really hard piece of wire. I tried to connect these together already just with simple loops, and I didn't like the way it looked, so I guess this is one that was, I cut them off, so this is probably a piece that was left from where I cut them off. Okay, there we go. I do this a lot. When I want to play with my bead soup, I get some beads out that look like they kind of go together and do this sort of thing. This is gonna, I told myself when I sat down here I was not going to make as long a necklace as I usually do. And I always end up making them longer than I mean to. You know, you can't see all that, but this will be not exactly symmetrical because all my beads are not the same size. I think that might be okay. I think I really wanted to have an odd number, but I don't guess it matters. I don't know why. I guess I just thought there would be more of a center point if I had an odd number, but I don't guess it matters. So I'm gonna, now that I've got it laid out the way I want, I'm just gonna start connecting them together. So I'm gonna take this one. I'm gonna find the side of the loop that opens. I'm always trying to open the wrong side. I'm gonna thread this one on. Make sure to close it back really well. And take this side. Oh, see, I'm opening the wrong side. Open the side that opens. Thread this one on. And take this one. Thread it on. And take this side. Thread it onto this one. Oops. this one. Thread it onto this one. Take this side. Never fails, always get the wrong side. Take this one and connect it to this one. He doesn't want to close up good. Okay, there. That's what I've got so far. Now I'm just going to keep connecting these together until I get them all done, and then I'll be back. Okay, through the magic of television, my bead mat has changed color. I decided to get a different color bead mat, and maybe you could see these beads better because they're so pale. And I wrapped an extra little pink one and an extra little clear one because the way I had it, one of the smaller beads was falling. It was going to be at the center, and I wanted one of the bigger beads to be at the center, so I did that. So now I'm just going to take a jump ring and connect my little connector over here. Okay, now I'm going to take I've got a couple of pieces of chain here. They're about 3 inches each. I'm going to take another, these are little, that was a 6mm jump ring. These are 5mm jump rings because they're a thinner gauge and they go through this wire easier than the thicker gauge ones do. So I'm going to open this. Put my connector on and my chain. Just do the same thing on this other side. I'm going to go up here and take another 5mm jump ring and my lobster. Put it on. And on this side, I'm going to take an 8mm jump ring, and I hope this will go through my chain because it's thicker. I always don't think about that. Oh, there it goes. And my extender chain. So that's what I've got. Now I'm going to make a little dangle to go on my extender chain. I'm going to take my ball head pin, my little pink bead, take my pliers and go to the tip of my pliers, bend a 90-degree angle, take my round nose pliers facing me, bend the wire back until it hits the bead, rotate the pliers till they're facing the table, bring this part up and under till it hits the bottom of the tool, cock it back until the loop is centered over the bead. Take my bent chain nose pliers and hold my loop. Hold it really tight. Take my other pair of bent chain nose pliers and start wrapping. There's no more room to wrap. Cut off the extra wire. Tuck in my little burr. Now I'm going to open the end of this link on the end here. Thread my little dangle on. Close it back up. So there we go. That's what I've got. Let me see if I can get it laid out pretty and I'll be back. Okay, there it is. I'm going to try to put it up on my bust and get a better picture of it to put at the end so you can see it better, see how it hangs. Like I said, I do this kind of thing a lot when I'm playing around with my bead soup, and I find beads that I think go well together. I just sort of put them together in a little necklace like this. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. As always, thank you all so much for joining me today. I really appreciate those of you who have subscribed to my channel and watched my videos and liked and commented on my videos. I have a website where I sell my jewelry. It's Teresa's Handmade Jewelry, and I'll put a link to it in the description box below in case you're interested, along with a link to my Facebook and Instagram and my email. If you haven't, I'd really love it if you'd subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new video. So until next time, I hope you all have a great day. Take care.